He allegedly smoked his girl in broad daylight, and we have a video of it, which we're about to watch here in a second. But he did this in broad daylight in front of everybody while being recorded in 4K, and he's still on the run. He hasn't been caught yet. I haven't read the story. I have the story pulled up. His face is right there. They know him, like his legal name. They have his face, and he's still not caught. And on top of all that, there's video proof of it, which we're about to watch here. How does that happen? Hey, it is a crazy, insane story we're dealing with today, a tragic one as well. And I do have to say that if there is any censoring or cut out parts, it's because this platform is soft and would give me a strike for it, right? So if y'all want to see the uncensored version, you can hop on the Patreon. I don't know if I'm going to upload this one on there, but I had to let y'all know. Let's press play on this.
Get away from me!
You ain't gonna do nothing but get yourself in trouble, bro.
I have a restraining order on you.
Call the police. Tell somebody to call the police.
Is the restraining order blocking him from walking towards you? No. When I said what I said in the past video, the video where that wife posted a TikTok of her expressing how happy she is that her husband is gleefully and gladfully, I don't know if the second one is a word, but how happy he was with the divorce, right? She was talking about how he's a sweetheart about it. He's so considerate and nice about losing his wife in a divorce where she's going to take half of everything. That video she posted, she got ended by him 2 weeks afterwards, and he ended himself. In that video, I told y'all, I don't care how anybody feels about it. You don't get to choose if the man is done with you. And I had women get into my comments pissed off at me for saying that when I have to keep it real with y'all at all times. What I mean is, of course, this is wrong and loser behavior to be chasing after somebody that doesn't want you anymore, especially if they got a restraining order on you. What is wrong with you? Get the f on with your life. Do you not have dignity and self-respect? Why are you chasing a woman who went so far to get a restraining order on your weird ass and you're still out here chasing her? You're weird. But my point is, I'm talking about the women in these situations. When I say that, I'm talking out of a position of wanting you to take your safety seriously, meaning just because you broke up with him, just because you have a restraining order on him, does not mean that will get rid of any situation like this. He can still, y'all see, look, he has to be the one to get over you. He has to get on with his life in order for him to stop chasing you or stalking you, etc. That's why if you know you had that kind of person in your life who's obsessive and you cut it off and you went as far as to get a restraining order, learn from these situations and go a step further and get you something to protect yourself. But before I say anything else, let's watch the video. Shameless, bro. Oh my god.
Hey! Get the off her, you asshole! Leave her the alone. I'm calling the cops. Come here, girl. Come here. Don't you hurt her. Hey! Leave her alone.
Oh my god. Nah.
God!
That's a demon, bro.
Shot her! Oh my God, should I call him?
That is a demon. This bum ass loser who's willing to risk it all and end it all for a girl who doesn't want him anymore. Literally just popped her 3 times point blank and in public in front of everybody. You're telling me there's this video and he's still not caught? What? This has to be in an area where the police just don't give a shit. That's the only way something like this remains unsolved. This video alone is unrefutable evidence of this. Bro, we literally just watched him do this, and it's not like a one-time thing where, nah, he did it purposefully and repeatedly 3 times point blank. He even popped her after she fell to the floor. This is the most loser shit you could ever do. Before I say anything, let's go to the story and find out exactly who she is to him and who he was to her. Because if this was a girl you were with, right, not your wife, not your mother, and no, I'm not saying that in any way to try to, nah, bro, this is still wrong, sick, and you're a loser piece of shit if you ever do something like this. But still, at least in my mind, in all the situations we watched where, like for example, the last video where it was his wife, the mother of his kids was leaving him, so he decided to end her and himself. That is sick, insane, But we have a motive in that situation, a motive that makes sense, right? The man was about to lose half of his shit and the love of his life, so he decided to do something demonic and crazy and evil. In this situation, if this is not the mother of his kids and somebody that he was just, that makes it that much worse in terms of how big of a loser he is, bro. Let's read the story. My daughter's murder was caught on camera 9 months ago. Why is her killer still on the loose? This happened in 2024. This story that I'm reading, by the way, was published December 29th, 2024. So it's been about 10 months, give or take, since this happened, and he's still on a run, which is crazy, bro. Look, Baltimore police are under fire for failing to catch the man who shot and ended a 27-year-old woman in broad daylight in April, despite a graphic video of the slaying going viral online. Now, the family of Shakia Allen says cops need to raise their game and apprehend their suspect, the victim's ex-boyfriend, Amir Johnson, 24, who has eluded arrest throughout a 9-month investigation. Critics say it is incomprehensible that her killer is not already behind bars, given that footage of the homicide in the Baltimore suburbs exists and has already been viewed millions of times. The grainy video, apparently made by a resident of the housing complex, shows the man fighting with her as he chases her down around the parking lot before drawing a gun and shooting her several times, which, by the way, makes it that much more crazy and sick because he had multiple chances to walk away, right? To not do what he did. He had people screaming at him, telling him to leave her alone. And this man ignores all of that and goes straight for her and ends her in front of everybody despite all. Meaning, if he is caught, I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of those cases that ends him, bro, that they put him in a chair because you pursued her down as if she was prey, chased her across the entire parking lot and popped her once, twice, and then again a third time while she was on the ground, meaning you wanted her gone. That is sick. The homicide raises tough questions about domestic violence. But for her father, the most troubling question is why has he not been caught after 9 months? It's not alleged. He's on film killing her. To call it frustration at the fact that the police haven't caught him is an understatement. And yeah, what he's saying is true. And if I'm being honest with y'all, when I was a kid, I used to watch like Detective Conan. So that was like a detective cartoon show. And then you grow up a little bit, you start watching the true crime series or documentaries. All of that stuff made me believe that the cops will always solve any homicide case, bro. It wasn't until I grew up and started realizing, yo, that is not the case at all. If you live in a poverty-stricken area, they don't give a shit about you most of the times, right? So unless there is concrete proof, and even when there is concrete proof, like this video, this shit exists. It shows the entire thing go down. They still might not catch the suspect if they don't care enough, or if he's just that good at eluding the cops. But this week, they released a statement requesting the public's help in finding him. The investigation is ongoing and is understood to involve police in New York City, as Johnson is from Brooklyn and may have returned there. In earlier statements, police said they responded to a call around 3 p.m. on April 21st to Allen's apartment complex in the Baltimore suburb of Kearney. They found her with multiple gunshot wounds. She was pronounced dead at the scene, and like I said, he did not want her to even have a chance at living, bro. He intentively shot her point blank twice, and then as soon as she fell down, again a third time, all at the melon. That is just pure evil. It's just insane to me how emotional as a man you gotta be to do something like that, bro. You do realize, like, there's women out here, if something doesn't work out with you and her, you can just... Anyways, Nakia Scott says there were few signs early on that the relationship between Allen and Johnson would soar and become violent. The couple looked good. Johnson was welcomed in the family and even called him Pops. But as he got to know Johnson better, he says he realized the man was kind of controlling. These worries were echoed by Allen's sister, Shanae Scott. I would have never guessed the extent of how toxic he was because he just came off as your average guy. There was no immediate, like, huge red flags flashing you in your face. But as the relationship deteriorated, Johnson became more possessive and aggressive, while she tried to end it. In August 2023, police arrested him after a dispute with her, who was described as his significant other. Johnson and Allen filed civil domestic complaints against each other. Once it gets to that point, right, once it gets to the point where you're getting the law involved in your relationship, it's either you fix your shit and you get it together or you cut it off, bro. Because as soon as you get other people involved in your that is the biggest sign that y'all don't belong together, bro. Straight up. That's different than being a slightly toxic couple who, you know, gets it on in terms of arguments and fights. I'm pretty sure every human being on this goddamn earth argues with each other, right? But that is different than it getting so bad to the point where you both file complaints, legal complaints against each other. That should have been the massive red flag for her family, right? Her father and her mother to immediately protect her from this guy. But let me keep reading on for a little bit more. It says that Johnson was later charged with a misdemeanor assault in February 2024 after another violent argument with her. He was in possession of a registered handgun when the police responded. It was not used in the fight, but Johnson nevertheless consented for the weapon to be removed from the residence. His assault trial was scheduled for April 29th, 8 days after he ended her, but he never showed up in court, obviously. Shanae praised her sister for having courage to leave Johnson and move out of their apartment to start a new life with their 3-year-old daughter. That makes this entire thing way different. Okay, there it is. I'm glad I kept on reading. She praised her sister for having courage to leave him and move out of their apartment to start a new life with her 3-year-old daughter, who is now an orphan. And that is the saddest part about this entire story. It does give a lot more context as to what could have caused this to happen, because to sit here and tell me this man offed his girl that he was with, that doesn't have a child with her, nothing, just a random girl he's with, that's different than to sit here and tell me he offed and ended the mother of his own kid. Pause. It's me from the future. I just want to clarify this point because I misunderstood it when I was reading it the first time, but I think what they meant is she's a single mother. She's also 27. So he offed her and ended her, leaving her daughter orphaned. I'm not sure it's his, and I don't think that it is. Just wanted to clear that up. Back to the video though. After tons of fights and her leaving him and him filing complaints and her filing complaint, that makes the situation very different. And I'm gonna end it right here and have y'all get down in the comments and speak to me. Let me know what y'all think about this. It is a crazy world we live in, bro, and it just gets crazier and more insane, honestly. No matter what a girl does to you, no matter what happens in your relationship, bro, obviously ending your this is just the dumbest thing you can do, because it shows you're not logical, you're emotional in your train of thought and think. Bro, no matter how toxic a relationship is with a woman, no matter if she's the mother of your child, you do realize by ending her, you just orphaned your own kid, your own child. She's gonna grow up without her mother. How is she supposed to grow up? You just burdened an innocent soul with a life that is extremely difficult, if not miserable, unless somebody else steps in. Over what? Over a toxic relationship with a girl that wanted nothing to do with you and wanted to leave you? You couldn't man up and leave her and go move on with your life and figure this shit out? Crazy story, insane story. And the fact that he's still not caught is actually insane. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Especially since he's in Bouts. Bro, this is the city. Like, this is up there, like the East Coast. Like, this is where they have cameras on the street and shit, from what I know. Like, especially if he goes back to Brooklyn, like that is where you get caught for doing stuff like this. And the fact that he's still on a run is insane. Speak to me. Let me know what y'all think about this. I got y'all with back to back insane videos. All I ask is y'all keep rocking with them and liking them, dropping your comments, and hopping on the Patreon if y'all haven't already, because we're active on there too, and I'm gonna drop a brand new exclusive very, very soon. And if you don't know what the Patreon is, y'all see all this crazy content y'all get from me, right? It's a platform where, get this, the shit that I post on there is 10 times crazier than anything I have ever brought y'all on YouTube, and it's the best way to support the channel. Y'all know we don't do no sponsorships, no none of that. Y'all are the backbone of the channel, so check that out. See you on the next one.